Hello, friends. Let me apologize for being absent so long from YouTube. I've had such a season. I did not expect to have had such a hard time with my health, but I'm happy to say that I have made it through. And sometimes you just have to let everything go but the essential surviving things so that you can accomplish what's necessary in a season and then be very grateful when you're coming through to the other side. And that's what's happening. It took me ever so long to get my Christmas decor down because January and February were not my own. I had a very hard time physically, but I have a new doctor now and I have a lot of anticipation toward what will be to come, what kind of new treatments we might have for my autoimmune issues. But that's enough of that. I'm ready to look forward to spring now. So it took me longer than I should admit to take all my Christmas decor down, but I brought out some of my favorites and I have found a few new things to add to my favorites. I had the old sheet print, bought that in Bryson City, North Carolina thrift store a couple of years ago, and I found this beautiful vintage print. It's an original, it's not a reproduction. It was $4, if you can believe that. Now my foyer, I've got a new piece of furniture to put in there that I got in Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains last July, but we've been too busy and I haven't gotten all that switched out. But I brought out my eggs art, and the little butterfly was $1 from Dollar General, if you can believe that. I love this little spot across on the opposite wall of my foyer. And can you believe this gorgeous flower tower? That's what I'm calling it. Ben, just because he had those sent to me yesterday, and they're just so gorgeous. They came from a local florist just literally down the street from us, D. Wrights. He always does a gorgeous job. We've used him for decades, and he never disappoints. I want you to just look. That is gorgeous. I wish it could just live forever. That's what I really wish. But I'll enjoy it while it's fresh. And my little typewriter has just remained there for has it been a couple of years now? Maybe this spring would be one full year, maybe over a year. I'm not sure. Can't remember when I do things and when I don't do things, but the sweetest thing is to share a whole life together, and I am so grateful for my family. This is a print on canvas that comes rolled up from Temu, and I mean, whatever I paid for it, $2.75. I mean, I'm talking $2.75, and I put it in a frame. I did paint the frame. It was a honey oak color, and I just painted it with some of that dark Turkish coffee that's my shed exterior color, and we are making a little progress. I'll do a separate video about our she shed, how it's coming along. And I did want to include this shot of my little fake fireplace. It's just electric. It's not really a real fireplace. My minimalist son, Joel, saw that I had cleaned it all off from the Christmas decor, and he said, "Wow, that's the best your fireplace has ever looked." I said, "What an insult to my decor." And this is my shelf above the sofa, and I've had that vintage print framed art up there for a very long time, a couple of years maybe, but I really love it, super love it. And I keep adding little things to it. That this grouping of books, copyright print in the front said 1908, and I couldn't find it in the others, the little four that look the same, but I'm thinking it must be about the same age. They look older to me, but that's 100 years old, and you know I get very excited when I find something that's 100 years old. All of these items are thrifted, every single bit, except those succulents, not thrifted. I still love the way those faux figs look on that linen on the silver tray. I've just kept it that way, moved it around different spots in my home. Okay, this is another print on canvas that comes rolled up from Temu, and it was very inexpensive. None of these prints that I'm going to share with you on this video were over $4, maybe $4 and something, but most of them were around $2, $3, $4. Now that rabbit, I decoupaged that. I printed that rabbit out in sections and pieced it together and decoupaged it onto the boards. I had made a sign for my back deck area a couple of summers ago and just painted over it and put the rabbit on it instead, because it said something about relaxing in the sun, and I was done with that vibe. So all of these are just little collections that I have literally sat up on my shelf as I have found them, and I just kind of liked the way they look together, so there they sit. Now I haven't redone my buffet, which really didn't get Christmas decor put on it. It just still had on some of my favorites, but I need to rework it before I share it again. I love this cup. What is that? Is it pewter? Is it silver plate? I don't know, but it's ever so gorgeous. And I think I paid something like $2 for it. What in the world? And there's a very old pair of scissors in it. And then that little depression glass cup. The English tea, that's brand new from Hobby Lobby, and it really has tea in it. The little oval tin, I paid 29 cents for it at a local thrift store here. And I paid about $3 for that marble pestle. What do you call it when you grind things? Oh, pestle. Is it a pestle? I'm not sure. This came from a local thrift store recently. It is a Monet print, and it has a sticker that says "I Canvas" on the back, and I paid $4.99. But well, I didn't pay for it. My lovely mother-in-law Sue paid for it for me, because it was on a day after we were going to her appointments, and she bought my stuff for me. Ben gave me this little set for Christmas. It's actually a salt and pepper set that came from Cracker Barrel, and my daughter Mallory saw me admiring that set and snapped a little picture of it and sent it to Ben and said, "You need to get that for Mama." This is another print. I think this one was $1.75, and that's an 8x10 frame that I have found recently, and I love the ornateness of it. You know, I love a range of things. I love primitive, I love ornate, I just love all things antique and vintage, but I really do love rabbits anyway. That's one of my, I guess it's my favorite animal to collect. Now, here's some news. This is Mallory, my second daughter, and her husband and their 3 children, and guess what? They're going to have another one. Number 4 is arriving in September, and I think it's safe to share now that Mallory and Will have answered the call to be missionaries, and they are on track to be Assemblies of God missionaries. We don't know where yet, and I'm trying to be okay with this. God really did not run this one by me and ask all my permission to make sure it was okay with me that they might get sent somewhere thousands of miles away, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to look at these beautiful little babies, and we're going to be thankful that they are my grandbabies, and I love them so much. Look at our Aaron Gage. He's 18 months now, and he's such a delight. Margaret and Claire are little mamas to him. They really have the rule over him, and they're precious. And I'm sharing their pictures because they did have them done recently, and because they're big news that I had alluded to in a previous video, I can now share publicly. And I would covet your prayers for them, for God's direction, and for this mama's heart. But I trust the Lord, and I know that He has good plans for them and for me, and I see a lot of traveling in my future is what I see. I do appreciate all of you who have commented and inquired to make sure that I'm okay, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for your time, for watching my video, and for subscribing and commenting. I love to interact with all of you, and I pray that all of you have been well and that you are enjoying this warmer spring weather that we're having a few little glimpses of, and I hope we don't have any more cruel cold weather that comes back from this point on. I am going to try to get back on track with more regular videos now that I have come through the challenge of what I have endured over this past 2 to 3 month period. It's been pretty hard, but God is good, and He's worthy to be trusted in everything that you can do.